Hey, welcome to San Miguel TV. I'm sorry about the complications. It's July 3rd, Wednesday, July 3rd. It's 9:57 a.m. p.m. right now, Eastern time. And I have a guest that's about to come on right now. I got Mr. Brooklyn Outlaw. What's up, brother?
Chilling, bro.
Thank you for coming through, man. This is going to be a very touchy topic. So, um, this is a video. I named it Remembering Andy. You know more than me, brother. You know better than me. Like I'm glad to have you on. Who is Andy? Andy Dio Just or Dio Just. I don't know how to pronounce it. My wife ain't here to help me. Uh, understand how to pronounce that. Um, this is a Haitian brother that was in the cult from Orlando. By way of Orlando, named Andy Dio Just, aka Lamad Gabar. I believe his last name actually means fair God. God is fair. And it's very interesting because one thing about that brother, man, the very fair, just, easygoing brother, man, right? I think you
Yeah,
could corroborate that with me, brother.
he's a real dude, man. I known that brother since 1999. You know what I'm saying? I knew him before that place.
You
You know what I
know
mean?
him.
So
You know him before the ICGJC.
yeah. I knew him since '99. You know what I mean?
Hey,
I got in there.
how did y'all meet? Like, how did y'all like start talking? Was it like what was it? How did that happen?
I had a homeboy that I grew up with in Brooklyn when I moved out to Orlando. You know what I'm saying? I moved out there. He had moved out there before me, and we linked up. And he introduced me to Andy. You know what I'm saying? And through him, me and Andy got real tight. You know what I'm saying?
That wasn't the brother that was in the cult. There was a brother that was in the cult that when shit started getting like organized, he never he just fucking dipped out. That's not him, right?
No. He wasn't in the church at all.
Okay. So in 1999, you met Andy, and so both of y'all wasn't even in this shit,
Nah,
not yet. Um,
nah.
so how did y'all come in? How did you come in? Y'all came in together, pretty much.
Yeah, around the same time. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was both listening to, a brother used to work with us. He's the one that actually introduced us to that whatever.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? We came in like pretty much basically the same time. He actually heard it before I did, you know what I mean? But
When
I
I
came
came,
in more full fledged than he did at the time.
yo, like one of my first classes in '04. It was 2004, and it was like towards September. It was like the Feast of Tabernacles or whatever. And I met you. I met you before I met Lamar Gabar or Mr. Andy. Um, and then I met him, and to me, he was just one of the most easygoing, very just lovable brothers, man. Like there was never an argument. There was never an like anything negative. I don't think anybody has anything negative to say about Lamont Gabar, Mr. Andy. I mean, like
Yeah,
he was such a good dude. You know what I mean? Like where like to the point where even like even though I haven't spoken to him since like 2015 maybe. I haven't seen him since like 2015. Um he still stands out to me because he was such an easygoing guy, even though he could crush your skull, you
right,
know,
right.
in an instant with his bare hands. I used to tell him, "Yo, you could kill me with your bare hands, and if you was a bear, you could kill me with your bare hands." Because
He was,
yeah,
no,
he
I'm
was
saying he was a genuine dude, man. Like people, I don't wanna get on here and talk about that place too much. This is more about him. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
The
yeah,
the person, and like with me, if people don't know, because people don't know the story, he was the godfather to all five of my sons. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's right.
He he was
Godfather.
the
Yeah,
godfather to
yeah,
all five of my sons. And when my first son was about to be born, the hospital. You know what I'm saying? In
he took
2001,
you. He took you
when
and your wife to the hospital.
yeah, my kid's mom, yeah,
Man.
he
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
wow, you know what I'm saying? Her water broke and everything, all in this car, and never, not even bitching and complaining about nothing. He never, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And yeah, that's my brother right there. But yeah, man, he was just a good dude, man. Like I know him personally, you know what I mean? Like he was a good-hearted person. He'll give you the shirt off his back, he'll give you his last, all that. Now don't get it twisted. Don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to rub him the wrong way. I've seen him get tight at people, and which is very, very rare. Very rare. But I did, if you ever played with him, he would let you know, don't play with me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, man, he was a
This
good
is
dude.
this is me and
Everybody,
him.
yeah.
This is me and him right next to each other, man. And look at his big ass hand on my shoulder, man. Just a comforting hand. And you see my little hand, somewhere there. I'm pushing my hand forward, so my hand is closer to the camera. His hand is encompassing. It's just bro, I used to I used to joke with him, like he'll give me a pound and I'll be like, oh, like he broke my hand
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was just such a, and he'll laugh. He thought I was hilarious.
Yo,
There's not a lot of people that think I'm hilarious. It's probably like my daughter, and Lamont Gabar. That's it, bro. And he thought I was hilarious, bro. Like he would always laugh, at the stupid little things I would say about him, how big his hands were, and Andy's hands, bro. The hands of Andy used to clap in the cult on Saturdays. Andy's hands handed me a piece of sugar cane the first time I met him. First time I met him, I didn't know him. I didn't know him at all, man. And we were at on Sand Lake and John Young. There's a big Walmart plaza there, and we used to hand out flyers there. So I had already got familiar with La Akadal. I got familiar with you. I met you, and I met a few other brothers, and then Lamont Gabar. I met him on this particular day, and he had just came back from Haiti, and he had a bunch of sugar canes, man, big ass sugar cane sticks. And we went, we walked over to his car. He chopped that joint up and gave me a piece. And just one of the kindest, most pleasant people you'll ever meet. No, none of that bullshit beef. He's not going to be up on the ICGJC's video streams talking shit to former members. That's not his style. And I think he was probably, dealing with some mental. I think he was dealing with some things. I don't know, man, but according to his sister, he weighed over like 600 pounds at the
mm,
time of his death. And
right.
I have nothing but good things to say about him. I don't think anybody has anything negative to say about that guy. Like,
Going back to what you were saying with my homeboys, it was called bad habit. When you a curse, Like the other person will get to like hit you and shit, like punch you in your arm and all that for cursing until you say bad habit. So one day he was wilding, you know what I'm saying? He started going off. So I hit him. I like, boom, 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 bam, bad habit. I hit him like 3 times. My man slapped me with his hand and covered my whole face with his hand. That shit, that shit left a mark that I
Oh
had a
my
tear run
god.
down my eye. I like, cause you know, out of
Every
reflex, he
time I
slapped
used
me.
to, every time I used to give him a pound and be like, "Shalom, sir," I would
Uh,
joke. I would be like, "Ah," like just joking with him, and he would think the shit was the funniest thing in the world. Like he was just
yeah, yeah.
laughing.
And then he had that crazy laugh, you know what I'm saying? That laugh he had, it was so
Dude,
crazy.
he had a big course. I call it the big course. Ha ha ha. He had a big man laugh, like a ha ha
Yeah.
ha.
He'd be
Brother,
like,
that
yuck,
guy
yuck,
was
yuck,
so
yuck, yuck.
genuine. Yeah, he was so
Cold
genuine.
dude, man.
He
Yeah.
I have nothing but good memories about him. And there was a short time when I came in, he was already in there, and I came in and I met him. Like I said, he gave me a sugar cane from Haiti, and then I started seeing him here and there. I think we pulled up in front of his crib one time. I forgot. I think I was with Lakadal or some shit, and we pulled up in front of his crib. You know, I used to always be the driver, and he was a driver too. He wasn't. He worked. He made money. He drove. He had his car. He had a good credit. He had a good name, and everybody wanted to be around him because of that. Because they knew that, oh, we could take advantage of this brother. That brother was taken
Mm.
advantage of, I think. And it's so sad that you have such a big hearted dude like that that refuse um my
You
bad,
good,
brother.
man?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, bro. I
But
feel you,
yeah,
man.
go ahead. You can speak on him.
Nah, it's just, you know, like I said, there was a few instances that he really like he touched my heart sometimes. Like I was especially I was fresh from New York. I was on that, you know, I ain't too friendly and all that shit. He was somebody who showed me it's okay to be cool, you know what I mean? Like it's okay to look out for people. Look out for me when times when I didn't I didn't even know like somebody was capable of being that nice. You know what I'm saying? Like one time, my
Yeah.
baby mom's she had hit me up. She was having pregnant. This is with the first child, and she hit me up, and I was broke, completely broke at the time, and I was at work stressing because I was hungry and I can't even bring her something to eat after work that she's asking for. She was asking for you know a spicy chicken sandwich. I still remember from Wendy's. And I was like, damn, man. I was like, you know, venting to him. I was like, fuck, man, I can't even, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was like, yo, I got you. And he took me after work to Wendy's to pick it up and take it to her. And like, you know, she was mad happy. She got what she wanted and shit. You know what I mean? She was having the cravings. And you know, he bounced or whatever. It was about 12:30 when we got off of work. So about like 1 o'clock in the morning, a little after that, there's a knock at my door. You know, after he dropped me off, I was like, yo, who the fuck is that? Nobody comes to my house that late and shit. The only one that would be him, but you know, he said peace, he was out. So when I go down to open the door, it's him standing there with a bag of McDonald's, and he was like, yo, you were stressing about your baby mom's not having nothing to eat, and you didn't eat nothing all day, and you didn't even complain about it, like you wasn't saying nothing. He goes, yo, bro, here, eat something. Cause like I told you, I was broke, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yo, this man brought me some food from McDonald's. He brought me 2 quarter pounders. I still remember that shit to this day. He was like, here, bro, eat. I was like, what the
Well,
fuck? I was,
what a
like,
good guy. Ah,
yo,
man.
I never experienced no shit like that. Like that was true, genuine love. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, damn, you didn't eat. Here, make sure you eat something. Like, damn.
Yeah,
I was the
man.
type of dude when somebody did something like that for me, it's so rare that I'd be for me. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of person that I was, but he showed me it's not like that. Like he genuinely showed you love because that's the type of person he was.
Well,
It was
how
real.
old was he when he passed?
Uh,
Like, cause
I
he
know he's
passed.
younger than me.
Oh, he was like my age probably. I'm 40. I was born 1984. I think he was maybe a little bit older. I was probably born 82.
Yeah, he's younger than me. I know his birthday's September. I'm 46. He's younger than me. That's
Yeah.
why, when I
Okay.
post, I like my little bro. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was
Yeah.
my big brother, he was my little brother. You know what I mean?
He had a big heart. Like he used to live with what he used to live with Zaquan Ricard. Remember that?
I don't like I said, bro. I'm here to talk about him and everybody else. I ain't trying to shit on nobody. Not today. Not in his memory. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
but people
Uh,
knew like he was a dude that kept a job. He had his own car. He had his own thing going on, and he was taken advantage of constantly, constantly taking a
there's
big,
people
big
in this world
part.
that take kindness for weakness. You know what I'm saying? They'll take kindness for weakness, and he wasn't a weak brother. I tell you that. He was kind hearted,
Mhm.
and maybe kind hearted to a fault. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, but I don't look at it as a fault the way he was kind hearted because more people need to be like him. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I don't look at it as a fault. There might be a saying that you're too kind and let people take advantage, but I don't believe that. Not in his situation. Like there's people need to be more like he was, man. Like I
yeah,
said, he'll give you his last. He give you if he ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he got, he's gonna give it to you, and then leave that, leave it to himself that he won't have it for him. But as long as you good, you know what I mean? Like good
it's
brother,
so
man.
yeah, it's so hard. It's so difficult to speak about him. And I was thinking
Yeah,
about this
man. I
because
like I
he was
said,
gonna go live last night, and I was hurt, man. Like,
yeah. I had my moments yesterday where I broke down. You know what I mean? I try not to, but yesterday I had my moment, man. You know what I mean? Like he's a good dude, man.
there's
He's a good dude.
not a lot of people in there that I can say that. Like, I think about people that are still in there, and even people that came out that I don't even deal with. And I wish I could have had an opportunity to speak to him, man, because I think he was a very smart and logical brother. But I think that he just fell for whatever, for the same shit that me and you fell for. And then but he was such a good dude, even though he could literally crush your face with one, with his hand. Like the dude was powerful. I think that's what his last name means. I think his last name means the power of God or the justice of God.
Yeah, it's God.
You
God is just. God
God
is
is
just.
he was I believe he was born in Haiti. I know he was younger than you and he was older than me. So he was in between 40 and 46 years old. I think he was born in 1982 or 1981. I don't know, somewhere around there. Um Man, just he thought I was hilarious, bro. He used to laugh at everything I used to say.
Yeah,
He thought I
like I
was
said,
hilarious.
I seen all the sides of him. I seen the loving. I also seen the side of don't play with him. I've seen when people try to play with him, and he had a very long fuse. He had a long fuse. He would let you okay, you got away with that one, ha. And after a while, he got to put you in your place. He will put you in your place. And when he got
Yeah,
there, you didn't you would have left him the fuck alone like a bear that was hibernating. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want to mess with him, bro.
Bro,
I remember,
his hand would just overtake my hand like he was a big gentle giant, man. Like he could destroy your whole world. Why would he do that? Because he just doesn't feel that in his heart. In his heart, he thought he was doing the right thing by being in the cult. And then even one time when I popped up in my rebelliousness, I popped up at a seminar in a library, and he was there, and he nodded at me and said hi, and that right there stuck out to me so much because this was like 2015, 2016, and I'm like one of the worst. Even till this day, I'm like the enemy of the ICGJC, and
yeah, you was the devil. You was the devil.
and now these are brothers from Orlando that know me, and I remember he looked at me and he was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he was like, when people look stressed, and he looked like he was stressed, and he gave me a nod and just kept looking stressed. And Zariah Sha'ala was there. That's my Levite brother. Another Haitian cat. Because coming from Orlando where me and you was in, there was a lot of Haitian brothers, and that's what Andy was. Andy was a Haitian brother, and he was a true Haitian, right? Like his family's from Haiti, and he could speak the Creole and all of that.
Yeah, he
And
was nice with it.
yeah, he was good with it. Yeah, and like that was like my dude, man. Like Simeon and Levi are brethren, baby. Like
And
I just felt a connection with him.
just the Creole, just the Creole in English, bro. He was well spoken,
Yeah, he was
well spoken.
he was
He
very
was a well spoken brother, man.
yeah, and he didn't sound ghetto or ratchet, none of that. He spoke English very well too. So he spoke Creole French, and he spoke his English really good too.
Yeah,
Um
and he was a good studied brother. That's actually what Lamar Gabar mean is like studied warrior. That's what that means.
mm,
And he was and that was his name, and that was him to the T. He was a studied warrior. This dude was on it. He was always in a book. I always seen him with a book. You know what I'm saying? He always had some big ass book with him every time. Like, nigga, you with the damn
yeah.
books, bro. You
He was
know what I'm saying?
godfather to your sons, man. You have like five sons, don't you?
One of them, man. He's the only one that I trusted. And when I was in that place, of course, we had the mindset of this is what it is. This is life. So if anything was to happen to me or to that mother, this is who I trust with my children. You know what I'm saying? That was it. I had him that I put him in trust of my children. If God forbid me or their mother was to pass away, I leave my children in your trust. That's how much he impacted my life, man. That I love them that much. I was like, yo, I trust you with my sons, bro.
He was that good, man. I corroborate that. I can vouch for that. He was that good, man. He was very trustworthy, and it's like where's the ICGJC and giving him his reverence, man? Like he deserves to
I
be honored,
don't
man. This shit pisses me
yeah,
off.
like I said, I'm not here to shit on that place. It's time and a place for everything. This is about him, man. You know what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying. I
Yeah,
got so much that I want to say, but I'm gonna hold it back because this is about him.
and he loved
That's
that
all
place.
this is about.
He loved that place for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I'm gonna listen. When I left in 2019, bro, listen. When I left, first call was to him to call him and tell him I'm out. That's my brother. I'm calling my brother to tell him, listen, I'm leaving. He didn't answer the call when I first called him, so I made another call. And when I got through with that call, he called me back.
Yeah.
He hit me up. I like, yo, what's good? And I let him know, look, I'm out, bro. You know what I'm saying? We had a little discussion, and the last thing I said to him was like, I love you. And you know what he told me? I
What?
love you too. That's the last thing to me in 2019. And there's been a few times I try to reach out to him, but I know how to want you to talk to nobody who left.
Yeah.
And I don't hold that against him. I don't hold that against him. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how that thought that you want to talk to the person, how the culture is in there. You know how it is as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't hold that against him. I just wish I could have spoke to my brother again, man, before any of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Me too, man. He was such. He was
But
such
what
a
I
kind, gentle, genuine. I believed everything he said. Like he didn't even speak much, but when he spoke, it was powerful. It was real. It made it
listen, bro.
important.
When
And
I
his
was
smile,
in charge of a
he's the only one smiling. His smile. He's just a big, smiley dude that, um, given all of the stress and depression that I'm sure he was going through, because his sister said that he got up to 600 pounds before he passed.
right,
That's not gonna happen unless you're probably depressed, man. There's some stuff that you're holding in, and if I know that brother, if I remember him correctly, he was the type of dude that was silent and would just shut down, shut up, and just go with shit and just let shit slide. And that's not always a good thing. I mean, some people might seem strong when they do that, and you might be able to do that for a certain amount of time. But as beautiful and as loving and heartfelt as that brother was, I know that there was probably things getting to him personally inside, but I can't speak on that. That's why we're here. That's why I like the fact that you're on, because you know him better than I know him, man. So thank you for coming through, man. We remember Andy, aka Lamaga Bar, man.
yeah, like when I was in there and I was over certain duties like security and I was over Hebrew Academy and things like that. I had him under me, like work with me, not under me. And the reason why I chose him, because I know the brother was a responsible brother. I knew he would it down. If there was anything I needed him to do, he would take charge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I used to get flack for it, like, yo, why you got this brother when there's brothers at a higher rank? And I'm like, man, forget the higher rank. I know he's gonna do the job. I know he's gonna put his all into it. He's not gonna give me no excuses. He's not gonna run away from the work. Like I know him. He's gonna get down in the mud and he's gonna get the shit done. That's how it is. We used to work together on shit.
Yeah.
But I used to always hear the bullshit, from the higher ranks. Certain ones, not
How did you
everybody,
find
not every,
out? Like, how did you find out what happened to him?
how did I find out? I got a phone call from another good friend of ours named Will. Shout out to Will.
Yeah, that's my
Will,
that's my brother. You talking about Wilney?
yeah. He hit me up. He said he saw some posts from his sister, and yeah, at first we didn't know. I didn't know anything besides he had passed. I didn't know any details. But
Yeah,
I talked to her. She seemed like a legit person. He used to talk about her too. You know what I'm saying? I knew about her sister Betsy. Just by name, by him saying her name. He used to
yeah,
talk about her. You know what I'm saying? So I knew about her. I've never met her. Even to this day, I never met her. I just spoke to her actually today for the first time. Me and her talk. But he used to talk about her all the time. And I know, you know, we spoke a little bit about how when he was in there, he distanced himself from his family a little bit, which we all did.
We all
You
did.
know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
he did speak about her. You know what I'm saying? I knew about her. He used to tell me about his sister Betsy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I want her to know that too, that he always talked about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He brought you up. I knew about you. I don't know if anybody else did, but I did. And I'm not gonna say I was the closest to him because there was another brother named Gary that known him longer than me. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So Gary, he's also in that picture you got. If you could show
Yeah.
Gary real quick.
Yeah. Shout out to
Um,
Gary Haraka Han.
yeah, that's Gary right there, the red and white. But he knows Andy longer than I do. I'm not saying that me and Andy was the best of friends because again he know Gary longer than me. But
Yeah.
I was real tight with him, man. Like he was
I
my
know.
friend that
No.
I could say he was my best friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
Everybody got different relationships with
you
everybody else.
made him your godfather.
Yeah,
And I could understand that. Like, you know what I mean? And I look at this list of brothers right here. I look at that whole list of brothers, and you're missing from there. And Wilney, you guys are some of the best people I've ever met in my life. And I spoke to Alex. Need to be free. He's a former member too. That's him. Oh, that's him in the middle there. Um, and I, he already knew about it, but he was close to him too. Like I came in
yeah,
'04, and when I came in, I was kind of the only dude coming from the east side because all of y'all lived around the same area.
right,
And I remember seeing Lamar Gabar, but he wasn't as dedicated at first in '04 at least in '05 when the Hebrew Academy started. He didn't join the Hebrew Academy with us. Like we joined the first year. So I graduated and you can see I have my red and white. And he has his all white because he didn't join until afterwards. Even Harak Kahan had his red and white.
right,
So red and white
yeah,
is a higher rank than the white on white. That white on white
right.
shit, that's like the office of 100, right? He just graduated from the academy. Rest in peace to Karab Number One, aka
Yeah, I was just about to say, respect to Axel in the white garment there, in between the two red and whites. That's Axel Roman. Rest in peace to him too. Good brother.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was real tight with him as well. That's Axel Roman, known as Karab Number One. Good brother as well. Rest in peace to him. He passed a few years ago. I believe it was 2016
Yeah,
when he passed.
I didn't get to go visit him. He died in Daytona. Daytona
Yeah,
Beach.
I was in New York.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
I
he was
was
up.
in New York, I think, when he passed, or I know I spoke to him. He actually called me in
Mm,
2016, and I spoke with him when he was in the hospital, and he had told me.
I think you froze, brother. I didn't get to speak to him, but I heard that people were talking to him. You know what I mean? Um, you know, you could always. Okay, there you go. I got you. You're back on.
Mm,
So his last days, let's we might as well talk about him too because he was another dedicated brother that me and him were talking about creating a rap group called the Hyksos. And we were gonna be the Hispanic rappers. The Hyksos supposed to be the tribe of Ephraim in Egypt and all of that, pretty much. So
right.
we had a Spanish rap group. This is the Hispanic rappers of the Hyksos, and he was also cool with Darbar Moth and Barazala Yash. That was that whole crew. He was up in Deltona, Florida. I remember he was up in Deltona. That's Volusia County. So when he got sick, They sent him up there, and I was actually gonna go visit him because there was like a lot of former members. You know, Orlando has a lot of former members, man. Like I think there's more former members in Orlando than there are current members in Orlando. There were zero
Mm.
graduates in the fucking Hebrew Academy in Orlando. Nobody graduated out of Orlando. I give my mad props to Harakahan, Zaraya Sha'ala, Bata Zal Allah, and all y'all, and you yourself, everybody that came out of Orlando, Wilney, and spoke out against it, and it was like a chain reaction. Now you see Orlando is like kind of devastated, like they just went through a fucking hurricane or something. Um, I don't know who's still in there. I think Amath. I can't even name anybody else besides Amath that's still in there from the time that we were in there. Because I think
Right,
Lakadal is out, Shayara Khan is out, and, you know, Alex is out. All these brothers are out, man, and me and you are out. When my first
right,
class, I remember I met you my first class. I think we were talking about Killer Priest and Heavy Mental and all of that. Remember?
right,
Uh,
right,
so we clicked right away. Um, but after a while, I think and it ain't all on me, but I definitely was doing a lot of my videos at first initially because I had a lot of love for people like you and Andy and my cousin. Of course, my cousin. I love my cousin. She's still in there. Um, but there was more than that.
yeah,
It was Wilney. It was you. It was Haraka Hunt. It was Amma One. It's people like that I love. You know that were really good people, man. Karab Number One, Darbar Ma, Gabarya Allah, all these people, I love y'all. You know, and whenever I like gain this like love for people in life, this is just the way I am. It doesn't just go away like that. That love remains there unless you do something really crazy. I'm gonna always love you if I loved you at some point in my life. That love is always gonna remain. So I never lost the love for Andy, man. I always loved that brother. And when I told my wife, she was like, "Wow, you always had like, she was like, you always had nothing but good things to say about him. Just a
yeah,
good man.
yeah. I
And
told my kid's
just,
mom as well the same thing. Like she's actually told me to, if I when I find out exactly what's going on, let him know she gonna try to make it to Florida for the funeral if possible, because she's right now she's on the other side of the fucking of the states and shit.
so he
But
died. Andy Lamont Gabar died like 2 or 3 days ago.
as far as I know, yeah, I didn't get into asking all the questions like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. As far as I know, I didn't
So
want to. It's too touchy, so I didn't want to ask too many questions like that.
yeah, trust me, I get it. Yeah, I would love to go to his funeral and say my final goodbyes. Um, so make sure you keep me posted with that. I
Yeah,
won't
yeah,
put that out publicly like that. It'll just be if you tell me, I'll keep it between me and my wife.
yeah.
But there's gonna be
Anything.
brothers like Haraka Hunt, that's Gary, um, Dalbar Maf, Alex, need to be free. That's Barack One. Like we're gonna want to go to this. Hopefully it's in Orlando. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Because the brother
most
was
likely.
in Orlando. He was an Orlando veteran. He was in there before I
Yeah,
was.
yeah, most likely. You know what I mean. I'm not sure. I think it's gonna be more down south than Orlando because that's where his family's at. I
Yeah,
think that's where it's gonna be.
yeah.
But
We'll go
yeah,
down.
as soon as I find out,
If you want, me and you, we could ride down there together, man. I'll drive down there, or whatever. I'll make.
we'll see
Oh,
what's up.
yeah. No, my bad. I'm thinking you still in Florida. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not in Florida right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I know.
like I said, I'll find out. When I find out, you'll find out. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Um,
You're gonna make it out here. We'll make it happen, bro. We'll make it happen. It's not even gonna
Hey,
be.
you know what I'm saying? We'll make it happen.
That's an important brother. That guy was important. He's not like he was a good guy, and I think he was still a believer up until the day that he died, just a few days ago. He was still a believer, but he wasn't like these cats that be in the Antichrist unit that are condemning us to hell. He wouldn't do that. He was such a good-hearted person that he probably can't find it in his heart to do something like that. You know, and I'm sure he still
Yeah,
had
I wanna,
love for people like you.
yeah, I wanna believe that because I know the type of person he was. You know what I'm saying? Even when in that, in that place, there's a doctrine about hating white people. I remember he would still go. There was a
Right.
white dude at work that the guy was an asshole. Not he wasn't just a regular white dude. He was an asshole,
His ass.
and
Yeah.
Andy would go fishing with this dude. I'm like, why you on fishing with this dude, Scott? He's an asshole.
Yeah. I'm sure that
But
dude.
he found the
I'm
good
sure
in
that.
Scott. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
sure that dude didn't want no parts of Lamar Gabar because I'm telling you, Lamar Gabar, he could crush your whole skull with just a grip.
yeah, like I said,
I used
I
to
didn't
joke
see him.
with him. I literally used to joke with him every time I'd be like, "Shalom, brother," and we do the pound. I'd be like, "Oh, damn, you just broke my hand, brother." Because he was just a big, kind dude with just a lot of love, and like at any given moment, he could destroy you and crush you real easily. But that wasn't in him. It wasn't in him to do that. It was, and the fact that he was cool with a white boy just shows you his heart and his the extent of his love. I love that guy. I'll never forget him. Like he'll live in my mind, in my memory as long as I die, and I want to keep his memory alive. I'm glad you're on here, brother, because who knows more? You know him better than I knew him. You know what I mean? So
Right.
we got to do this for him. The ICGJC is not gonna do this for him. They're not gonna, show him love. He deserves so much love, man. He deserves that. He deserves to
Yeah,
be.
he deserves it to be remembered. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember I hit you up and I was like, look, I know you make a lot of videos about that place,
Yeah,
but as I requested, yo, can you do something to tribute my brother because he deserves it? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I
yeah,
know we make a well, you not me, but you make a lot of videos speaking against that place, but he's actually somebody who was in there that you could speak well of.
yeah.
And I was like, put that energy in something that is deserving. You know what I'm saying? I understand exposing and putting them out there, but this brother needs to be spoken of in a good way, in a good light, and everybody needs to know about him. People that didn't know him need to know how great he was, and those that knew him and might have been passing by, if you didn't know him like I knew him, you missed out. And even if you didn't know him like Miguel knew him, who like he tells you he doesn't know him as well as me, but the person he got to know was a beautiful person. You know what I mean? So anybody who, what I'm saying, came across him and didn't really get to know him, you missed out, man. You missed out on a special fucking human being, man. A special human being that God put on this earth. You know what I'm saying? And he showed you how it should be done. How it should be done. Because according to what they say in the scriptures, the children of Israel are supposed to be a light to the world. This is what he was. He was a light to the world. He showed you how the love of God should be. Even though that place taught a lot of hatred and things of that nature, he didn't let that shit consume him and who he was as a person.
Mm.
He never showed that sign to people. I've seen him upset with heads, and again, that's because you pushed him to that point. You know what I'm
That
saying?
must
But that
that
wasn't who he
must be scary.
was. That was
As
exactly that wasn't his character.
as
He was an
rare as
upright.
that was, that could have been, that was probably real scary because that
Yeah,
wasn't his character. His character
When
wasn't mean. His character was
yeah,
very kind. He showed everybody love. And Zaquan Ricard, man, Zaquan, reach out and contact me because you used to live with Lamar Gabar, man. You know, like that dude held it down for you and brothers that couldn't pay their effing rent. That guy maintained a job, a car, a good relationship with his family, as far as I know, and everybody loved him. Nobody had any negative thing to say about him because he wasn't
yeah.
oppressive, and he was just and as big as he was, like he could hurt you, he could hurt me, break my neck in pieces. I had to, you know, like you sometimes you had to like give him orders, and it didn't feel right, you know, like the way these cats. If I ever seen somebody doing it too harshly, it would seem off because you don't have to do that with him. You know, he's just such a kind-hearted person, man. His character is so genuine. Like his smile and his laugh. He always laughed at my jokes, bro. I have corny jokes. Like the only one that always laughs. Like my kids don't even always laugh at my jokes. That guy used to like always laugh at my jokes, man. That's how I know he was a good dude because I'm not that funny like that. But he would always laugh. He would always laugh at my jokes, man. I have stupid dad jokes and shit. That dude thought it was funny. He would laugh and he'll have a like a big bear. He was a lovable person, man, that I will never forget. I will never forget Andy ever in my life, man. It's so sad, man. Like out of all the people, you know, thinking back to when I saw him at that seminar, that library over there on John Young or whatever the fuck, when I pulled up and he had he said hi to me at that point. Like like I think back to that. Everybody else, that was Shalimov, even Zarai, who's out now. Everybody was like looking at me like I was fucking crazy, and I was the enemy and the devil. And I saw Lamar Gabar give me a nod, man, and give me a high. That right there is I'll never forget that. That will live with me forever. That right there made me feel so good at the moment because I thought these niggas hated me. And at least I got love from that one person, man, who should have hated. He should have hated me based on his doctrine. But he even though he was supposed to hate me, he was such a good person that his heart couldn't allow him to do that because I did nothing but treat him right, and he did nothing but treat me right. In all the times I ever met him, the first time I met him, it was in 2004, and he had just came back from Haiti. He was a Haitian brother, right? I think he was born in Haiti, and he came back with sugar cane, big sugar cane sticks, and he had a machete, or so he had like a short knife in the car. He was cutting it up, and he offered me with his big hands. He said, "Here you go, brother. You want some of this?" And I was like, "Sure." I haven't had a sugar cane since I lived in Dominican Republic. You know, that's a thing. That's a thing on the island. So that connection right
Yeah.
there, instantly, that connection was deep with me. I was like, and then the fact that he was just offering, and I just met him. You know, so he was already in there when I came in 2004, but he didn't join the academy, the first year academy, until I think it was at the second or third year. I remember like that bolstered
Yeah,
me
the
the
year
next year because I remember
there was
the second year in Orlando, it was like ain't nobody here. But the fact that Lamar Gabar came in there and joined the academy, it kind of like okay, it showed like there's still some real motherfuckers coming into the shit. And here he is, right there, man. He's gonna go,
yeah,
you know,
he came in
yeah,
the year after me because I came into the academy the year after you because you graduated before graduated the year after.
okay, got you. Yeah, I graduated probably '05, so I came in like September of '04. Remember we it was like a hotel conference room or something on OBT, and you were outside, and when I pulled up, I don't know who I was with. It was probably just me and my cousin, and me and you ended up talking, and we clicked immediately. And then um, the Feast of Tabernacles was probably the next class, and I was just listening to class over the phone. You know, we didn't have a building in Orlando until like '05 when they sent Rosh one down here, and then they sent Dahawam, and Lamar Gabar was just not a problematic brother, always available, willing and able to participate and help, give somebody a ride, whatever needed to be done, he did it, and he didn't complain. He didn't, act like a bitch. He was just, and that might be a bad thing. That might be the downfall, or that, because it's good. Like, I didn't do that either. When I was in there, I wasn't complaining like, oh, we shouldn't be this and that. I was just going with the flow. And I think that people like me and him and you, like, we're very similar in the way that um we trust people, at their word. Because I think Lamar
The thing
Gabar,
I'll say
and
about him,
personally, he just trusted people at their word. He didn't think that he was being lied to, you know?
right? That's the thing. I don't say it's a bad thing. I say it's a bad thing when people take advantage of it because it's not a bad characteristic as a person. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
because
saying?
like we all, I have to say that Lamar Gabar was his own man, and he made his own decisions, and that's it. Um, but they took advantage. I'll say that they took advantage of him, even if
Yeah.
yeah, they took advantage of him. He was such a good dude that they knew that he was an easygoing, good dude, and they say, "Oh, we can take advantage of this dude." And who knows what they had him doing after I left? It's so sad, bro.
Yeah.
So what year
Like I
did
said,
you met
it's
him
not a
in, like,
bad thing the way
1999?
he worked. Yeah, I came to Florida in November '98. I met him in '99.
Yeah, yeah. I used to work together.
Yeah, I used to. At first, he worked at Walmart. I used to work at a hotel, but I used to know him. We used to chill. We used to blaze all the time. That's why I had the name Ganja Bear for him. Cause I used to tell him, I was like, yo, you look like a fucking grizzly bear, but you a kind-hearted motherfucker. You a care bear, bro. You like Ganja Bear. You got a fucking weed plant on your stomach. That's what I used to tell him, because he smoked so much trees. Me too. We used to both smoke so much trees.
Yeah,
And I would hit him up,
that's
and we
fine.
had our code word for weed. It was cereal. I would hit him up and be like, yo, I got some cereal. Bring 2 spoons, which meant
uh, uh, shout out. Yeah, you're breaking up. You broke up a little bit there. You were saying 2 scoops means you broke up there. You're a little frozen. I see you need to be free. Oh yeah, okay. You got
back room my first day, and I hear, I like, what?
crazy. That's like my nickname. My nickname in New York was
Call you Ganja Man, and you
Will.
get in trouble?
That's like me. My nickname in New York was Cheeky. How the fuck is Wilney calling me Cheeky and shit? Like, I don't. Okay, you know.
Yeah,
You know that you really know somebody. Like, I always said that. If you call me Miguel, then you might know me from school. If you call me Cheeky, you know me, like, personally. You know,
right.
Lamar Gabar, man. I remember pulling up at his crib one time before he even joined the academy, and he was the type of dude you couldn't really just push him around, but he wasn't the type of dude that would get angry or try to argue with you or try to debate you. If he was down for the crown, he was down for the cause, he was down with the ICGJC, and he started doing what he needed to do, just like I did what I needed to do. I can't say anything. I don't, and nobody that I know can say anything bad about. And he was literally um one of the best people in there that still remain in there. Besides him and the moth, I can't think of anybody else that I want to leave. Fuck Manatazak, fuck Magun, fuck everybody else that's in there. I'm glad Zarai, I'm glad you left. I'm glad Haraka Hun left, Dalbar Moth, Gabarya Allah. As much as you might not like me, Gabarya Allah, I still got love for you, brother. You know I got mad love for Alex, who was out before me. Yo, I was waiting on Lamar Gabar to leave, man. And man,
I got another story. Well, one day, this is like when this was like I was fresh in that place, and you were both like, just fresh in there. And I got a call. I was at work, and a homeboy of mine had some drama. He's like, "Yo, some niggas is coming through. They say they gonna beat my ass and all this crazy shit." I'm at work. I'm like, "Oh, yes." So yo, I tell them, "Yo, I gotta go. I got a family emergency." And Emmanuel Shayar, he was the one that was teaching us. And at the time, Shayar was trying to talk to me like, "Yo,
shout
chill. Let
out,
me make
shout
this
out.
phone call. Let me make this phone call to the head, which was Azar Nathan in Florida." He said, "Let me call him and find out what's the wisdom on what we should do." And that phone call, I gotta go handle what I gotta say.
Yeah.
And Shayar made the call, and Azar Nathan, what he did was he had him gather up some brothers. At the time, there was like 6 or 7 brothers showed up issue that I was about to have because I and brother, this dude Lamaga Brandy showed up with a fucking ninja sword, bro.
And
A ninja sword, not no little dagger, a sword. Thank God them people didn't show up because they was gonna get hurt, bro.
somebody's gonna get chopped up and
Yeah, they were talking big on the coming to hurt my homeboy, whatever. So I went over there seeing what the drama was, but they never showed up, and thank God they didn't. He pulled out a sword, bro.
yeah, Lamar
He,
Gabar,
he,
he was probably like I never had to get in the situation, but based on the story that you said, yeah, he was the type of dude that would be right there alongside of you, ready to fight and take a fucking stab wound for you, man. He'll take a knife to the
yeah,
yeah.
like I said, bro, don't
That's
don't
how he
take his
was.
kindness for weakness, bro. Don't take his kindness for weakness. My brother didn't play, man.
Yeah.
He was like that big pun song, "Brave in the Heart." You know what I'm saying? That's him all day. Brave in the heart.
I love that dude, man. I'll never forget him. Um, that's why, like, I did this live. When you told me, like, let's do this live, I said, yeah, man, let's do this shit because I can't think of any other person that's still in there right now. I can't think of anybody else. Now that he's gone, I can't think of anybody else that I would do a live for and show him so much love because as much as I hate that place, I still love people in there, but even my cousin won't even talk to me. Lamar Gabar would still give me a nod and say, "What's up?" He would still do that even while he was still in there because like that whole stupid shit where no, you gotta hate people that just left. Former members are your enemies, bro. Like you said, man. He even used to hit you up, man. When was the last time you spoke to him?
2019, the day I decided I'm not going back, I called him and we spoke. And the last conversation we had was I told him that I loved him, and he told me I love you too. But that was the last time I spoke to him, man. Because again, I know how the culture is in there, where they're not allowed to speak to nobody who left because you're the devil. You know what I'm saying? So I don't hold that against him. And there's people in there I got true love for
Yeah,
that's in that place. And I don't have any animosity or hatred towards certain people. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
leaders in that place, the people that are holding that place up and
Hmm.
running shit, man, listen,
Yeah.
I got some words for y'all. You know what I mean? Everybody else under the spell, I, you know what I'm saying? I don't got nothing against y'all. Y'all under the spell. But the heads, the leaders and the shit, yeah, I got some words. I got another story about Andy
Yeah.
that I wanted to share.
Please.
I took him to Brooklyn one time. It was out there for the Passover and shit. And we was at my mom's crib in the projects in Brooklyn. Me and him out there chilling and shit. And I remember I took him and he got a 40 ounce because they didn't have 40s in Florida. And they also didn't have St. Ides in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
He's drinking a 40 of St. Ides, loving that shit. And I'm drinking a glass of
Yeah.
milk. And I'm like, why the fuck am I drinking milk? And it was the Passover. That's why I was
Hey,
drinking milk.
that's
And he's drinking a 40. I'm like, yo, it's the Passover. He's like, oh, fuck. Shit. Oh,
uh,
well. And he kept down in the beer.
hey man,
But
I used to be
this
right
guy,
with him. I used to be on some ching ching. Down
yeah,
there, man.
he
Yeah.
loved his drink, you know what I'm saying? The 211s, he loved them shits.
Steel reserves.
But I remember in Brooklyn, bro, he fell in love with St. Ives, the 40 ounce St. Ives. He fell in love with that shit.
I mean, I remember
Yeah,
when
he got to me.
I remember when I first got, was able to fucking escape Florida, with with like Lacadal. I think it was me and Lacadal. We went up in a gas station up in Yulee. It's called Yulee, Georgia. The name of the city is called Yulee, and that's like the first city that you hit as soon as you leave, Jacksonville, North Florida, whatever, and you hit Georgia. Then you could get 40 ounces over there. And
No
so,
doubt, yo. Need to be free, Alex. That's another thing he just brought out. He loved that Betos, man. He used to kill that shit.
yeah, he was a good dude, man. That's why I came on here and started like, just mentioning him because it really affected me, man, and like it makes me emotional thinking about him because I think that this is a perfect situation on how this cult separates friends and family because if it wasn't for this cult, me and him would have been still cool to this day talking, and I think that you and him would have.
Are you breaking up, Miguel? You breaking up?
Yeah, I think that you and him also would have been friends if it wasn't for that cult. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for that cult. So I don't blame him, and like you gotta kind of look at like I like you gotta hold people responsible for their own actions, of course. But Andy wasn't the type of person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to say this for everybody out there. Yo, that was a good dude, man. I love my brother. I loved him to death, man. And if y'all didn't get to know him, y'all missed out on a special person. You know what I'm saying? If you guys didn't get to know him, and if you did know him, if you crossed your path, thank God for that, man, because he put a genuine person in your life. No matter if it's just somebody you say hi and bye, you just pass by. You got to meet a genuine person. And like I said, that's what a true, according to what the scriptures say, according to the Bible, the Israelites are supposed to be the light of the world, and that's what he was, man. He was a true light. He was a beacon of light.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He was somebody that he's supposed to show you the way. He that's the perfect example right there.
Yeah,
Man. Rest in peace to my brother, man.
yeah. That's him. That's him right there, man. He died as a believer in the ICGJC. He believed in Tazadakia as we did. Some people in the chat, like Alex, Karab Narawan, rest in peace to that cat too. Karab,
Axel Roman.
Gabar Yalish was in this picture too. This is about 2009 in April 2009 in New York
Excuse
City.
me.
Yeah, we had just linked up in New York City. I had flew up there and I linked up with y'all, all the brothers that came up, however the hell they came up on car or whatever. And we took some pictures here. I actually got this from Karab Nawawan's Facebook page because it was his wife taking the pictures. That's Axel. What's his name?
Roman.
Axel Roman. Yeah. And this is a comment by Andy's sister. Out of respect for my brother, I will not tell the Israelite community how I really feel, but please do feel me. Shout out to Betsy, man. Shit, like that's the sister. That's Andy's sister. How much more does she know him better than we do? And how much more does she love him? Because he was
Right.
such a lovable dude, man. like, if I don't want to, if you tell me, if I never met you before and you tell me, yo, I don't like Andy, I don't like Lamar Gabar, I'm gonna assume something's wrong with you, nigga, because why? There's no reason. Like I said, and
Right.
like brother, like you're saying, my brother, that guy right there, man, he could break my spine in five pieces and shit, but he wouldn't do that. Why would he do that? He just wouldn't. That wasn't in his heart, man. It wasn't in him to do that. And I would always joke. I was always funny. He would always laugh. I'm my corny ass. I'll give him a pound. I'll be like, "Shalom, brother," and then I'll be like, "Oh shit, fuck my hand." Just joking because he was so powerful. He was so powerful physically. My skinny ass, I'm amazed by that brother. Like if I was that powerful, I'd probably be on some taking advantage. I don't know, but like there's like people like Shaquille O'Neal. He's big and bad. There's people that are like, oh, I'm big. I'll mess you up, man, because I'm big and I know it and I'm bad. And he was big and he knew it, but he refused to act like a tough jackass, man. He was just kind. He was a gentle giant. He was a kind-hearted person that that's why we're talking about him right now because he was that good, man. He was that sweet and kind. He left an impression on me. I will never forget this brother, man. I'm so sad that he passed away, man. I wish I could have had the opportunity to talk to him, man. It is what it is, though, brother.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I want. I want his memory to live on. Like I want everybody to remember him.
Yeah,
He was a good dude, man. Uh,
yeah.
I love that dude, man. Like I said, that shit's not light, bro. To name somebody the godfather of your children, and he was the
Yeah.
godfather to all my children.
How many kids you got?
5.
Yeah, he's the godfather to all these children, man. And he
Every
lived,
single one of
helped
them.
out so many brothers, man. If it wasn't for him, brothers would have been down and out. Who knows where they would have ended up in the streets? That brother right there, man. If it wasn't for him, I don't know. I don't know where brothers like Zaquan Ricard would have ended up in. Barazal Yas, Dar Barama. Like these are brothers that are all actually out right now. Gabar Yala. Karab One is passed away too, man. Like this photo right here is amazing because you know, out of all these brothers, man, like I think I was the first one to leave. And then no, Alex was the first one to leave.
Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex
It
was.
was Alex and then it was me. But Alex and Andy, I believe, lived together, right? And so did
Yeah, they ended up. The, and Gary, they ended up living together. Yeah.
yeah, they were living together. So he's in the comment section right now. That needs to be free. I love you, brother. You know, I was messaging you earlier. People know, like me and Alex, man, we're tight, man. I love that dude, man. I actually bumped into him unexpectedly out here in Orlando, maybe like a year ago. I saw him at a Publix, and I was like, "What the fuck?" He surprised the hell out of me. Um, and like I don't have a family. Like when I moved to Orlando from New York, I didn't really have a close knit group of friends like that, and I found that with y'all. I found that with you guys, and yeah, Andy
Yeah.
was definitely one of those guys that I was like, man, like that dude. You would never expect for him to get angry, violent. He had none of that in his heart, no malice. It was like he was just so easy to get along with and to talk to. Like even if you like, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
When when he fell on hard
Yeah,
times, you know what I'm saying? He was still holding it down, doing what he had to do for that place. He didn't let anything get in the way of what he had to do. He took charge. He did what he had to do, even though he was going through his own thing.
yeah,
Because I remember when I was in there towards the end, he was going through some stuff, and he still was holding it down, doing his duties. And again, he wouldn't let nothing get in the way of doing what he had to do because he knew that's what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to neglect anything. And
yeah.
again,
Just kept his mouth shut.
to a,
They to do, man. Like,
to a fault,
oh man.
some
Yes.
people would take advantage of that. That's what I'm saying, to a fault, because they would take advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Sometimes you gotta lessen the burden so they can handle what they gotta
yeah.
handle
Because
as well.
he's like he made his own choice. Like, but does that negate the fact that they're taking advantage of him? It doesn't. Um. Yeah, man. Like, I can't believe he's not here. I would have loved to talk to him right now. Like at this point. I would have loved to have a conversation with him because I think that he's just one of those brothers that we can have that conversation, and he wasn't gonna be like, "Nigga, you San Miguel, you gonna go to hell." He's not that type of dude to do that, and he could easily, like I said, he could easily break my ass in pieces, man, with his bare hands. And if he was a bear, he would kill you with his bare hands. Um, he was.
Yeah, we used to say he could do like the Incredible Hulk when he does that slap.
I was one
Say
time
that shit.
time after
He could
class.
do just like the Hulk smash.
It was one time after class. I was like talking about how we're gonna get superpowers, and I was like, "Yeah, Makwataza wa Aya, he's gonna be flying around. I'm gonna be doing some disappearing acts, and you, Lamar Gabar, you're gonna be just punching people in the head and knocking their heads off of their shoulders." Like that's his superpower. And he already kind of had that superpower. Like you could tell, like every time I would give him a pound, I'd be like, where the hell did my hand go? My hand is gone. It's just, he would just, he was such a dude that, like, that's what makes him so beautiful is because if he really wanted to, he could kill you. But he's so kind. He was so sweet that that wasn't in his heart. He wouldn't get violent. He wouldn't get angry. Even when a brother was supposed to pay rent and fucking contribute to the rent and wasn't doing that, he had to fucking pitch in and contribute and pay for the whole fucking rent. So Quan Ricard, you should come out and speak about Lamar Gabar, man, because Quan Ricard, you used to live with that brother, man. And I remember that dude used to just stay in his room and just shut up. And he didn't want to be bothered, and nobody bothered him.
Yeah,
Uh,
you wasn't gonna bother him. That's something you didn't want to do. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
He wasn't one to be bothered,
Hmm.
and you wasn't gonna bother him because you knew better. You know what I'm saying? He didn't give off that that vibe, but you knew by looking at him, I don't want to fuck with
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It was like there was a sense of respect, and he had because he carried himself so honorable. You know that there were people that were not in that were in the cult that were not as honorable, that were kind of just living, jumping from household to household. That brother knew that he would. It's a shame in the Haitian community. It's a shame for you to go and have to live under somebody else. Like that's literally a culture thing in the Haitian community that I think rubbed off on him, and it
Acts
showed.
as if.
Like I know Haitian people, man. I know Haitian people from New York. Um, when I met him out here in Orlando, one of the first Haitian people I met in Orlando, I started to realize, oh yeah, Haitian people, they ain't fucking around. They work hard. They ain't on no victimhood shit. Ain't no excuses. He worked hard. He earned his money, and if you asked him to borrow some money, he might lend you it, and he might not
Hmm.
even want it back. That's how good of a brother he was.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
said,
he was a good.
he says, "Hey, y'all remember he used to read all them fiction books? That brother was a voracious reader. He was, man, but he was smart. That's what made him smart, man. He wasn't your typical brother. He wasn't your typical Israelite, man. He
Yeah,
might
he was reading
say,
all them dragon books and shit. He loved all that. You know what I'm saying?
and Dungeons and Dragons and shit. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
He used to love that shit.
damn, bro.
He loved that. He loved musically, like Big Pun. He loved the lyricism, and which would surprise me because in Florida, when I first came to Florida, nobody was really, if you were from Florida, you wasn't big on like lyrics like that. He was deep on he loved lyrics, man.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I clicked with him. That's another reason why I clicked with him, because he wasn't on that Two Live Crew shit or that them Daisy Dukes, all that. Like I said, man, like he grew up with them Haitian culture, with that Haitian culture. He was very respectable. He wasn't about no ratchetness, none of that. He spoke very well. He was well read. He could read the scriptures and pronounce words properly, unlike a lot of brothers. And he was a good dude, man. Like I'm really sad that he's gone. This is not like just some random cat. Like I didn't know Amos Gabar, Tazaki's brother, like that. For me to be all sad and crying about him, I like ever since you told me that Lamont Gabar died, bro. I've been very sad, and I haven't even been wanting to put videos out on my channel. Like one of the best ways that I try to deal with this is with comedy. Um, I try to laugh and pacify this, but yeah, this one hurts. This one hurts, man. This one hurts
Yeah,
like even more than Korab Narawan, who's the brother in the photo in here. That because that kind of hurt. That dude kind of hurt because I was supposed to go see him in Daytona, and then the day that I passed on it. I said, I can't go today. He died that day. I was gonna go drive out there the next day. There were people like Shayarika's wife, Nada Yara. I think she went to see him and all of that. But I don't really have too much information on Lamar Gabar besides what I got from you, and then what we know from his sister. And his sister don't. She's not feeling the Hebrew Israelite community right now.
yeah. Like I told her when I spoke to her because I physically spoke to her, and I said, you know what, whatever you gotta say, you let it out because there might be people in there, believers that will see what you gotta say, and because they don't want to hear shit from me and you because we're the devil, we're antichrist.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll hear her. So I told her, you say what you gotta say. Let them know how you feel, and let people see. You know, they should know that your brother was a great man, but how
Mm-hmm.
much it hurt. You know what I'm saying? How much it hurts that his sister, somebody who loved them, because a lot of them in there cutting off their families as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the doctrine in there, they're gonna say, oh, they're gonna go against you and this and that. Listen, man. I told you, you say what you gotta say. You let them feel what you gotta feel. Let them feel everything. Pour it out.
Yeah.
Because again, for those that are in those leadership positions, shame on you. Because that brother should have been helped. There should have been something y'all were doing to help that brother. He was going through some shit.
Where are they? Where are they right now talking about him and how great of a person he was? And are they going to do a funeral for him? Are they going to bury him? They should. Like, what's up with that? I don't.
The details on that is between his sister. I don't know the details. I know they reached out. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
she should have the ultimate. Him and his mother
Yeah.
should have the ultimate last say so on any of that. So I'm not saying that they should do this and that. Only if the family wants it done. That's the only way that
But
I think. Me.
if the
That's my
family?
opinion.
What if the family wants it done on a Sabbath day? In my opinion, I would say, what greater thing to do than to bury and honor a person like this on the Sabbath day? Like, what's the big deal with all that Sabbath day bullshit? We can't do this and we can't do this. It's the Sabbath day. What kind of bullshit is that? You're gonna be unclean anyways. Lamont Gabar, Andy, is a brother that's worth
Look, man.
being unclean for and going to, he's worth it, man. Being unclean for 7 days. Who cares? Go ahead and go do that brother's funeral. He's worth it, man. He's paid enough. He's paid his money, man. He's paid his dues, man. How much money?
Yeah.
I know he was paying his money. He was the type of brother that you didn't have to ask him, where's the money at? You didn't have to ask him that. He had the money. Here you go. Boom. And here's extra, probably. That's the type of cat that he was. He was such a good dude, man. Nothing but good
Look,
things. There's nothing but
I
good
don't
things. I don't think that there's one person right now in the ICDJC that has anything negative to say about him. I know y'all ain't speaking out. Y'all ain't gonna talk about him. But this guy right here is, oh man, honorable mention, man. Like, it hurt me when you told me that he passed. This was a good dude, man, and this is tragic, man. We're gonna keep talking about him because he needs to be celebrated, man. Lamar Gabar, Andy, he was a special guy, man. Rest in peace. Rest in
yeah,
peace.
man. There's some things about, you know what I'm saying. I know that he was going through. This is when I was in there. You know, he fell on hard times, and his sister was helping him out and holding him down. And you know, she was giving him money to basically his basic necessities. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And they found out that he was getting some kind of bread, and they were like, "Yo, you got to pay tithes on that." And I was telling them, I'm like, "Yo, that's not, you know what I'm saying, increase. That's for you
Yeah,
to get
you gotta pay
the
that
shit you
back.
got to do.
Yeah,
It ain't an
that's
increase.
money.
It ain't a
That's the
job.
money
You're
that
not
you
getting
pay
paid."
back. Like, come on, man. They want to take everything. If you find $20 on the ground, you got to pay $4 off for that shit. That's
Yeah,
how they are.
listen, man. Like I said,
Yeah,
I want to keep this focused on him, and I don't want to divert to any of that. You know, put light on that place too much. As this is about him.
yeah. Hmm.
Of course, it's part of the history, so we might have to mention things. But I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel is right to at the moment speak on that. Keep the focus on him. You know what I'm saying? Anything with the bullshit and negativity in there, we could talk about it at another time. But right now,
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that shit right now because that shit's gonna infuriate me, man. because I don't like how they did him, and it's not just him. Everybody in there is getting done that way.
First time I met him was in the Walmart parking lot on Sand Lake Road in John Young. There's a big Walmart parking lot, and we used to do unit work over there. That's actually the same parking lot where I met a lot of y'all. That's where I first met Adawan Kazakia from Fort Myers, and Lamar Gabar. I think he was in Haiti when when I came into the shit. You know, like I was meeting all of y'all, and I was getting cool with y'all. Like I clicked in, and I fucking fit perfectly, like the perfect piece to the puzzle in Orlando. And La Kadal, Shayarika, I love those guys. Even till this day, I still love y'all. Shayarika already knows that. Alex, love that dude. Amath, I love you, Amath. I love you, Amath, and I know you love Lamar Gabar, man. Um, those two brothers. I think about Lamar Gabar, and I think about Amath, and I'm like, I can't think about anybody else that I want to lead that I love. But I really have genuine love for those guys, man. But the first time meeting Lamar Gabar, Andy, um, yeah, it was in the Walmart parking lot on Sand Lake and John Young,
Yeah,
and
that's the Walmart he used to work at.
he used to work there. Okay,
Yeah,
did you used to work there too?
yeah, I worked at the same Walmart.
And Shayara Khan used to work there. Dawar Baramath, maybe Gabar Yala? No, 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 no.
No, no, not Gabari Allah.
Shayara
Not that
Khan.
I remember. Yeah.
Shayara. And but so he comes out of his whip. He comes through to link up with us. We're doing unit work, and he has big ass sugar canes, man.
Hmm.
He's cutting them shits up. He has like a little knife, and he handed me that shit. He offered me that, and I was like, oh wow, hell yeah, because I have family from Dominican Republic. I haven't had anything like that since I lived on the island, which I was 5 years old when I used to live in Dominican Republic, and I remember the fucking sugar canes. But ever since I came out here and grew up in New York City, moved to Orlando, now I'm fucking what 19 years old. I came in the cult at 20 maybe.
Hmm.
Um and that dude brought this childhood memory type feeling to me immediately. And he just gave it to me, like just offered it to me. And then I would see him after that here and there. And he was just always a kind dude. That people would look to for a ride or help or something. People looked for him and looked to him and asked him for favors because they knew that he would do it without any any bitching or none of that. He, he would just do it. He would just help you out. You need a ride? He just do it, bro. It's midnight. I remember it was like midnight, and we pulled up at his crib one time. I think he must have been in my whip or something. I forgot what it was, but it was a bunch of brothers that needed to go home, and he was willing to take some brothers home while I was, willing to take other brothers home. He was just one of those dudes that was just very reliable, and you could always count on him. And if he was there, he would do it. He wouldn't complain. Maybe that was to a fault, because if people are taking advantage of you, you should complain. There's nothing wrong with complaining if people are taking advantage of you. And I think that they were taking advantage of him. I think that they
Yeah.
were. They were taking
Like
advantage
I
of.
said,
He was a.
the only problem I see in that was the taking advantage part. He should have been exactly how he was, but nobody should have been taking advantage of that good heart, of that kind person. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He was a good dude, man. Rest in peace to my brother. Him, Axel Roman, rest in peace to him as well.
yeah. Um, Andy was also. He used to live with Need to Be Free and Harak Khan, and it was a 3 bedroom in the Brittany's. I think it was called Brittany's Apartments on Millennia and in Oak Ridge or some shit. Um, that's Alex, Harakahan, and Andy. Those are 3 hardworking brothers that had their own whips and they made their own money and didn't have to rely on nobody. And who started, a bunch of people started to come along and fucking try to tag along and chill at the crib. And I knew Andy wasn't down with that. He was like, nah, like he was like, this is where we live at. This ain't no hangout spot, nigga. You know, here comes your Shar and tries to fucking sneak in and shit and try to take advantage of the good-hearted people like Harakahan, Andy, and Alex. Those are good-hearted people that will help you out if you need help. They'll come through and be like, "Yeah, I'll help you out." But the fucking ICGJC, Tazadakia, Tazapuan, Arya. Well, Tazapuan was being taken advantage of like crazy too. I think Tazapuan is like one of those people too that probably has a good heart. There's probably other members too in there that I never met, and I can't speak on that, but I could definitely speak on Andy, Jejuis, however you pronounce that. I could speak on his brother Lamar Gabar and tell you that um, this is one of the most stable, steady, kind, funny, good sense of humor, intelligent brothers that I've ever met in my life, and definitely up in that cult. There's those very few people that you meet in the cult. He's one of those people, man. And I'm sad to hear that he passed away before we could kind of, reconcile and have even a conversation. I wish I would have had that much. I wish I would have had that much.
Yeah, it's always gonna stay in my memory, man. The last thing my brother said to me was, "I love you too." I told him I love you. He said, "I love you too." That's the last thing we've ever said to.
Mm-hmm.
Miss my bro, man. I've been missing him, but I miss him even no chance that I'm gonna, like they say, not in this life. If after here, you know what I'm saying? I can't wait to meet him again. You know what I mean?
Man.
But
Oh man.
his energy, his you want to say his spirit, whatever you want
Mm-hmm.
to say, it's not gonna ever leave, man. It's always gonna be here. That energy. That energy doesn't die. You know what I'm saying? Energy is always around, and I'm gonna make sure my brother's energy is always felt, is always remembered. I'm not gonna let nobody forget this great dude, man. Nobody. Even my kids, like my kids left that place. They had left around 2012, so they was disconnected for a very long time from him. To give my always got money out of him because he got the A's. Every time he got an A, he would give him some bread. You know what I'm saying? Every time. And my other son used to get jealous and shit. Like, why Hezekiah getting all this money? He's like, because Hezekiah does great in school. You know what I'm saying? He said, you do good, I give it to you too. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I love
So
you. I love
they
you,
got
man. I want you to know that I love you, man. I like to say that to you. I wish I could. I wish I could have said that to him. Before he passed.
yeah, we gotta make it more natural where we say that shit to each other too, because sometimes as men we too masculine and too macho to say, "Hey man, I love you, bro."
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's too late when you damn, I should have said it to him. That's how I felt. So you want to say things when the person, maybe they can't hear you anymore. I don't know what happens in the afterlife, if there is an afterlife.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You don't know if they can hear you, but you the way things are, you pray they do. And if you can hear me, bro, I love you, man. I know that I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a good dude, man. And it's this whole live is in remembrance of Mr. Andy Lamar Gabar. Um, I'm really sad that I can't speak to him right now and tell him how I always felt about him. Oh,
Yeah, man.
thank you for
Like
thank
I
you
said,
for coming through, brother. I'm gonna close this thing out. I can't. I
yeah, no
can't.
doubt, man. Again, R.I.P. to my brother, man. My brother to Andy, my brother Axel, rest in peace. And everybody that tuned in, man. Hope you guys remember Andy. Keep him in your heart. Keep him in your mind. You know what I'm saying? He was a good dude, like I said. And if you didn't get to meet him, you missed out. Straight up. You missed out. Love you, bro.
I love you too, man. Have a good night.
All right, man.